Okay, let me see if the streaming has started. We should be live pretty soon. If we are live, somebody in the live chat could let us know how the audio is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it okay?
We are live. So, guys, in the live chat, if anybody, I can see people in the live chat. Adi, Chuck, Darko in the live chat, Subhan. Hi, everybody. MHRD, Pakistani. Oh, hi, Pakistani Atheist. Oh, Beej is here, so we have a mod. That's great. Hi, Beej. So, let us know how the audio is. I'm going to keep the microphone close because a lot of people tell me that my audio level is usually less than everyone else. We have one of our patrons complaining that the audio levels are so different that I keep on waking up his wife because he keeps on reducing the audio, and then the audio goes up and his wife keeps waking up. So he was telling me to please somehow figure out how to keep the audio at the same level. So I'm going to try. I'm going to keep the microphone closer. Greetings from Leeds, UK. Hi, everybody. Hi, Darko. Okay, so this is Armin Navobi from Atheist Republic, and we are with...
Rana Ahmad.
Hi, Rana.
And Stefan Peintner.
All right.
Atheist Refugee Relief.
Okay, so you're both from Atheist Refugee Relief, which is amazing. Can you guys let us know a little bit about Atheist Refugee Relief? How did it get started? And what do you guys do? And then I have so many questions, and I'm sure people in the live chat also have a lot of questions.
Okay, maybe I will start with the idea about Atheist Refugee Relief. It's a start from me when I started to search for help for me, because I was atheist and I was in the camp and I get a lot of trouble, and I don't find any organization help me like atheist or person without religion or in my situation. And then I be in contact with Mariam Namazi and ex-Muslim Germany. And I met Stefan and I met other person, his name Dietmar, and we start to work alone until we decide in the end we have to make organization. And yeah.
So how long have you guys been around?
2 years, about 2 years now.
Okay. Stefan, do you wanna add anything to that before I ask some questions?
Yeah, I mean, I started thinking about that when the refugees came to Germany, and I was part of a humanist organization called the GBS, the Giordano Bruno Stiftung. It's a humanist atheist organization. They're active against the church mostly, and I thought that we have to do something, you know, not just, you know, in Germany you have all the organizations, or the vast majority of the organizations active are from the church or from Muslim institutions. So, and I thought it's very, you know, it's not just useful to complain all the time. You have to get active and you have to do something as a humanist organization also. And that was the basic impulse to get active. And then by luck, I met Rana, and that's how it started.
So, what were you What was the nature of the complaints that you wanted to act on?
I mean, the complaints from the GBS was always, you know, that the church is everywhere and blah 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 blah. But you know, but if we don't do something ourselves, then of course the church takes the space, you know, in aiding the people. So we have to do it ourselves, you know.
Right. So you're saying that religious organizations have taken a monopoly over charitable acts and helping people, even though they don't do it with the many times. I don't know if I can say, I don't have the statistics. Many times with the best of intentions, or they don't do it with the most effective methods. You're saying that we can't just complain about the fact that they have monopolized these kind of institutions. We have to actually try to provide an alternative. I find it's an uphill battle because they have so many laws and so many you know, favors in, you know, religious organizations, so many unfair advantages, both legally and both tax-wise. So it's an uphill battle to take that away from them, right? But we have to start somewhere. So that's what you decided to do, to provide an alternative way to help people. But why did you specifically decide to help atheist refugees?
Because I didn't know any atheist refugee, to be quite honest, and it was very hard to find somebody. and I contacted Mina Ahadi. She's also here in Cologne. And at that time, I didn't know her. That was about 3 years ago. And I didn't know her back then. And so I contacted her. It was a little bit difficult. But finally, I got in touch with her, and she made the contact to Rana. And the thing was that we had an apartment, a vacant apartment, and it's very hard to find an apartment here in Cologne. So, and then Rana moved into this apartment, and this is how we met. And this is how I got in contact with Rana. And through Rana, she was active in the networks, the atheist networks, the Arab-speaking networks. And this is when we started helping other atheists in other camps. And we could use the network from the GBS. They have local organizations all over Germany, and we could use them. We could call them and say, "There's some atheists in this camp. Could you please help this person?"
So what you're doing is basically helping people that have managed already to. Is it mostly Germany?
Yeah, it's just Germany.
Just Germany for now. Are you planning to expand to other places?
Yeah, we're just trying to expand over Germany now. We originate from Cologne.
Right.
And now we have a group in Berlin, and Dietmar, he's the one who's organizing the whole thing. He's traveling now to other places where other organizations will start.
So you're not focusing on trying to get atheists out. You're helping atheists that have already gotten out. Is that the main focus that you have?
Yes.
Okay. So
because we cannot.
Maybe I can say something. We help the atheists outside Germany to give information about asylum, about the process, about other organizations. Maybe if they want to travel to Canada or to Britain or to other country, we can tell them, you can find here ex-Muslim North America, you can find here ex-Muslim Britain, you can find here information. It's most of helping people is information.
So there's two parts to it. For the atheists that are not yet or haven't yet escaped, you provide information on the resources and the methods available. Yeah. And the second part is that the atheists that manage to get to places where you are, you provide them with what?
We do, first of all, we do social services, like we go with them to the job center to get money from the state and all these normal stuff every organization does. But on top of that, we try to provide safety for them, because they're still in danger here in Germany, either by their families. I mean, most of the people we're dealing with now are coming from Saudi Arabia. And so from Saudi Arabia, it's pretty easy to get into Germany. So they're still endangered here.
Right. So you're saying that because like from Syria, if you come from somewhere like Syria, it's hard for the people from Syria to come to Germany to hunt you down. But because Saudi passport is a more legit passport, if you've run away from Saudi Arabia to Germany, your family could actually come to Germany and hunt you down. So okay. So they are still in great danger.
Yes, and also when you get politically active, like for example Rana, she has an information restriction and all these safety precautions, so she cannot be hurt, or it's hard to find her. And we do this with others too who are politically active.
Right. So are you exclusively focusing on ex-Muslim atheists? Because I don't know if any ex-Christians or ex-Jewish or ex-Hindus that would need asylum or anything like that.
Until now, we take everybody. We even take religious people. You know, we're not like an exclusive club. If somebody's religious and thinks we can help him better, I mean, as long as he's not a fundamentalist or something, you know, we're not, we're not dogmatic about this.
But okay, so then what? Somebody might ask, you're called atheist refugee relief. Then why would you help non-atheists if you're so specifically called atheist refugee relief?
Because we're specialized on atheists, and we are atheists.
We are atheists, and the idea for we starting is to help atheists, because Stefan in the beginning, he started to help me because he want to help atheist refugee, and then I start really to help other atheist refugee, because no one care about us like atheist refugee in Europe or Canada or other country. We need us to help each other.
Right. So you're saying you're focusing on atheists not because atheists are more deserving of help, but because not that many people seem to give a shit about atheists.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
just filling
that's
a
the
gap.
problem, yeah.
You're filling a
Yeah.
gap.
And they don't have an organization they can trust. I mean,
Right.
no atheist wants to go to a religious organization.
Yeah.
And we had a case where some they converted to Christianity and they got good help, and the others that didn't get the same treatment, and they were left behind. And so we try to help these people, and we want to be an organization they can trust.
I mean, if an atheist organization also helps a Muslim, it might help those Muslims rethink their views on atheists, right?
Yes, maybe. Yeah,
So,
I hope so.
So even if you do help religious people, it still helps the the atheist movement in a way that you are showing to the religious that look, not all of us are evil. I mean, we could be as bad or as good
Not
as
all of
everyone.
us.
Not all of us.
No, but also, we are not atheists. I mean, atheists is just we don't believe in religion. We're also humanists.
Right.
And we believe in mankind and in the good in man. And me personally, I also think that religious people, if you get a lot of horrible information, you do horrible things, and you get a false view on the world, you do wrong things because you don't have valid information. So, and I think, I think I believe in the good in most people,
So what do you think about, what do you say to people that say, why we don't need refugees? We have had too many people from foreign countries in Germany or in other Western countries. You guys are not helping. These people are on a drain on a society. You're using taxpayer money to help people that are not citizens of Germany. This is a waste. This is a waste of resources. Let them fix their own countries instead of bringing their problems here. What would you say to that?
Yes, I mean, there are several things about that. Of course, there's a problem with Islam. I think what people are mostly, there are two things maybe. People are, I think, have a problem with Islam, and people, of course, there are xenophobics who are, saying like, oh, they have these good smartphones and we don't, and we have poor people, and why do we give all the money to these refugees? But, there have been studies that show that refugees, they cost much less money than a native until they can work and pay taxes. I mean, if you are born in Germany, when you go through the whole school and study and all that, and you have healthcare and everything until you can finally work, you cost a lot more money than a refugee who goes to a German class and maybe has a diploma already or something, and then he can work or she can work. And this is much cheaper. And there are also studies that show that people who start businesses, natives are less probable to start a business than people coming, immigrants. So most of the people, they are, I think, xenophobic, and we have a big problem with the right wing. But it doesn't have to do with refugees. I mean, it doesn't have to do with Islam and all of that. I mean, in the U.S., it's the Mexicans they're afraid of. You just take some group, and I think the problem with Islam is a specific problem in Islam, and of course it's a problem. But the xenophobia has nothing to do with Islam because most of the groups are very Christian. I mean, they have the same views.
Right. I mean, when it comes to people that might be problematic to the society, I think atheists should be the least that you would be worried about, right?
Because for atheists, they travel and they leave everything to be free and live like this people and like in this way and this culture. Be free without any religion and respect the law and really. I don't know how to explain it. You feel like you are really members from this society because you want to look like them, you want to walk, you want to study, you want to do everything in your life. You're not allowed to do it in your country.
Right. So basically 4 points. First of all, atheists are least likely to be problematic. Second of all, as Rana just pointed out, they are very likely to prefer this society and be grateful and wanting to adopt the values and culture of this country because they are very tired of, very happy to be not living under an Islamic country. Third of all, when it comes to people trying to judge whether people are actual refugees that do need help or are they economic immigrant and people that are that are in danger but are just trying to upgrade. So some people are worried about that. When it comes to atheists and ex-Muslims living in an Islamic country, we can be sure that that's not the case. They are actually people that do need help and do need to get out. And the fourth response would be that what you guys are doing is mostly focusing on people that have already gotten into Germany, and whatever your views are on refugees, whether you think you should have more of them or less of them, I think both sides could agree. The ones that are already in Germany, it would be better if you could help them find a job and pay taxes rather than not. So I think both.
That's really life, yeah.
Right. So I think both sides of the people that think that are anti-refugee and pro-refugee, with regards to the people that are already here, they must be we should be able to agree that it's better if they're working and find a way for them to integrate in society than not. Like, we could agree on that at least, right? So
Yes.
What you're doing in that case is a net positive. Let me see some live some of the comments in the live chat. Beaches, where's Beach? Beach is asking, would they recommend to atheists in refugee camps to pretend to still be Muslim until settled in Germany?
Yes, I recommend it because it's not worth the fight. Or just say, when you're a woman and you don't wear hijab, or you don't want to fast in Ramadan, just say you're Christian. Don't say you're an ex-Muslim atheist. It just makes your life really hard and sometimes dangerous.
But Rana yeah.
It's not worth it.
I am crazy. I know I said that.
Don't take Rana as an example.
When Rana, correct me if I'm wrong, when you were in a refugee camp, when people were trying to give you the Quran, you went and wrote a note, said, what did you say? Fuck your Quran? What did you do?
This is funny. I was in the camp. I am from the first day. I tell the manager there, please, I am atheist. I don't want to be in with the Muslim people, please. And he put me with the Christian family. And then 3 day, 4 day, I hear Quran every day, and it was too much for me. I skipped Saudi Arabia and my family, everything, to be free without Quran, without anything from religion. And the 4th day, I write paper and I draw Quran and I write fuck to your Quran and I put it in his room and then I run away. And then the next day, the manager, no, Rana, she is the atheist here in this camp. Come, please, Rana.
Oh, so they knew it was you.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Not me.
So, did you get in trouble? What did they do when you said that?
Yeah, they, in Europe or all the country, they are really afraid from the Muslim society. Right. They told me, please, Rana, if you need anything, come and talk. We will help you, really. If you need anything, we will do it for you. Don't do that again, please.
That's funny. Oh my God! So, but was that was dangerous though? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Stefan is right. Don't do what Rana did. So before I ask more questions, let me see. Tiamaki saying your photo from Mecca was very brave, Rana. Yeah.
Thank you, Armin, to post this photo.
I was scared to post it. I was scared to post it. I can't imagine what you went through from taking it. I'm like, by the way, for everybody that says we shouldn't have posted, Rana told us to post it. Okay, we don't make the decision for the people that ask us to post something or not. B just saying, would they? No, I already asked that. Pakistani atheist is saying, if we can't get a critical mass numbers of atheists in Muslim majority countries, they will have no choice but to accept us within their societies. I don't know if that's an argument for atheists staying in Islamic countries. I do say that people like Rana or Ayan Hirsi Ali, they are very valuable to atheists in Islamic countries where they are right now, because now they can say what they want, and a lot of people in Saudi Arabia, in Somalia, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh now listen to people like Ayan Hirsi Ali, Rana, Mariam Nabwazi, and they are a source of inspiration. So it's good for us to have people like Rana in Germany or other places, because they are in places where now they can say what they want, and it will encourage a lot of people in Islamic countries to feel like, yeah, maybe Rana is right, yeah, maybe Ayan is right, yeah, maybe Mariam is right. So it is valuable for a lot of them to do come to countries where they can speak their mind. So here's a question I have. You guys, the Atheist Refugee Relief and the Secular Rescue from CFI, and some other organization like Ex-Muslims of Great Britain. Who else? There's not that many organizations. Like when it comes to, for example, Christians. When the Christians are being oppressed in Egypt or in Pakistan, there's a shit ton of Christian organizations that are there to speak for them, to make sure that it's getting coverage, to go to their people and raise money for them. And not that is anything, like, I'm not saying that's bad. They should do that. In fact, not only Christian organization, everybody should do that when Christians are being oppressed in Islamic countries, or when Muslims are being oppressed in, I don't know, Buddhists in Burma or whatever, right? Or in China, right? I mean, how come there's not that many people talking about atheists? Even though, I mean, I don't want this to become Oppression Olympics, right? Because I'm not suggesting that people shouldn't raise voices when Christians and Muslims being oppressed. Even there should be even more of that. But how come we're not getting nearly as much attention or nearly as much as support, even though atheists are one of the most oppressed groups in the world? There's no other, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no other group of people in the whole world where there's a death sentence for them in 13 countries, right? Which other, like, name me a minority group that just for your views, the penalty for your existence is a death penalty, is execution. It's one of the most oppressed. I mean, this is fact. This is not trying to compete in Oppression Olympics, and I'm happy to be correct. This is actual reality. And even though atheists are one of the most oppressed groups in the world, you have the international shout out again to the International Humanist and Ethical Union. Again, their name is really bad. They're rebranding. Every time I have a problem remembering it, let me just make sure I got the name right, because I want to. I'm going to talk about them as well. International Humanist and Ethical Union. I had them on this podcast, on this show. Their CEO Gary McClelland. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Gary was here, and I want to talk about ways we can cooperate. But what's your theory on why this is not getting as much attention as any other group?
I think, first of all, it's a new movement. I think, when you look at Islamophobia, the term, that you're a racist if you criticize Islam. I mean, when I look at the media coverage here in Germany, it's really starting to change. There is more and more critique about Islam, even from the left. And the Islamophobia thing is really wearing off. And I think the whole atheist, that there are even atheists in Muslim countries. It's a new thing for most of the people. And even that people are leaving Islam, you know, it's not something that you always stick to. It has always been treated like if Muslims, they are Muslims, like they have a skin color or hair color, you know. It's just their religion, they stick with it. And the fact that there is an atheist movement, it's very new. It's very new. I mean, even in Europe, when Richard Dawkins wrote The God Delusion, it's not so long ago. So the whole atheist movement is pretty new, and the recognition of the atheist movement in the Muslim world is very, very new. But it's really it's starting to change. We get a lot of coverage now in the media here in Germany, and it's really starting to change. And they are more and more aware of atheists. And also a big thanks to Rana, because she was really active there. Really, she really was all over the media when she came here, and she wrote her book. And yeah.
Yeah, but you guys should be way bigger than you are. Like, you guys should get way more. Like, even though you're growing, I don't think you're getting the fraction of support that you deserve.
I want to add something. I think not all the atheists in all the country, they feel like I am responsible to help other atheists in other country, or I am responsible to feel like I have to do something for atheists. I have to help. I have to really be active. Not all the people have this feeling. For me or for Stefan or for other friend Dietmar, we feel like we have to help each other. We have to be active. We have to do something. But you don't find this feeling in all atheists in all the country. I think this is the problem.
So here, let me know what you think about this. I don't want to be, when it comes to protecting atheists, I say I don't want us to be tribal. Right? We're the reason why we have an atheist movement and we're supporting other atheists is not because I'm an atheist, so I care about atheists. No, the reason why we care about other atheists is not because we're in the same tribe. It's because it seems like nobody else gives. There's not that many people that give a shit about them, right? It's because they're relatively one of the most oppressed groups, and they're also relatively one of the most ignored groups. And that's why I think, not just atheists, I think even religious people that, what I say is that most religious people are better than their religion, right? So even though their religion is very anti-non-believer, a lot of religious people are kind people, right? So I think a lot of religious people also belong to the atheist movement, because a lot of religious people could also be convinced that, hey, this is not right, atheists are being oppressed, maybe we should pay a little bit more attention to this issue. I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a whatever, but I want to support any movement that is protecting atheists against oppression, right? So I don't think this is a tribal thing. I think this is more of a realizing that this is a gap. This is a huge, thing service that you guys are providing that needs more support, and that's why we're supporting atheists.
Yeah, but it's also a community thing a little bit. I mean, when in the 80s, my best friend, he told me that he was gay, and it was not easy in the 80s here in Germany to be gay. And for him, it was important to find a peer group where he can turn to. You know, he went he was in Bavaria, he went to Munich, and it's a big city, and he could go there and meet other gay people. And I think we also want to provide a community, you know, like that you have like a place to turn to where there are people also from the same cultural background or something that, you know, have been through what you've been through, and you have a community. That's maybe a little bit tribal.
If you remember, Stefan, when we help some refugees, when they come to us and they start to talk, they talk a lot because they are afraid to talk about atheists or about what they think in the camp or in the community. But when they are with us in our organization, they start to talk. You feel like they really miss to talk about atheists, or they really miss to be free and talk like this way.
Right. I mean, I agree with I really very much agree with the community aspect of it. What I mean is, like, even as a Muslim or a Christian, you might think like, well, atheists need a community as well to find each other. Even if you're not part of that community yourself, you might realize that, hey, I have a community with other Christians. Atheists deserve to find each other and find their own community as well. So like that's the non-tribal aspect of it that I think, like, even if you're not part of that community, you could be supportive of the fact that they need a community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. But what did you mean by the fact that you said that Islamophobia is wearing off?
I think that people are starting to realize that there's a problem in Islam, and that Islam is an idea, not a race. And phobia is something that, you know, when you have fear of height or fear of spiders, that's a phobia, because spiders normally don't do anything to you. But Islam is actually hurting people, it's killing people, and we're not hiding people and have this information restriction on people because we want to do it. I mean, Rana, for example, is in danger. Yeah. And we have, you know, and Islam is very dangerous, and so it's not a phobia. It's really, there's a problem there, and people start to realize this. And I think that it's still, you know, it's just the beginning, but we see some changes in that. That you know, the left is starting to open up. For example, we have a Green Party here. It's very left and liberal, and you know, like this. But they were always like, yeah, and hijab, it's just a very nice thing, and blah blah blah, and feminist, and blah blah blah, another culture thing. And you know, and there are more and more people there in the Green Party that start to say, yeah, there might be a problem there, and you know, it's not feminist to wear a hijab, maybe. And yeah, so I think things are starting to change. It's starting. It's not
really
done, but it's starting, I think.
I mean, that's very surprising for me to hear, because the impression I get from hearing people is that Germany is most leftist people in Germany, their views are so far away from reality when it comes to Islam. Like they are. That is like beyond hope. like we but you guys are saying actually attitudes are starting to change, and people are actually in Germany, you're noticing that they're saying like, yeah, maybe Islam is a bit fucked up. Like, is that
yes,
really? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I really think so, because I mean, yeah, for example, there's a group with Necla Kelik and Cem Özdemir and Hamid Abdel Samad. There are three, more or less. Cem Özdemir is from the Green Party, and Necla Kelik, she's a feminist, atheist feminist from Turkey, and Hamid Abdel Samad is the atheist from Egypt, or critic of Islam. And so they started a thing called what's it called? Like a unity for liberal Islam, to be part of the Islam conference. The German government is always speaking with the Islamic groups here in Germany about integration of the Muslim population, but they don't really represent a lot of Muslims living here, and they also wanted to be part of this, so they founded the thing called Liberal Islam, and to just be part of that. And she had Necla Kelik, she's atheist through and through, and she had in the main news show nationwide, she had a long interview on prime time. So it wouldn't have happened just a few years ago. So it's really starting to change, you know. And she said quite frankly that there's a big problem with Islam, and that it's not a problem if you really separate state and religion, but this is not what Islam wants. And so this is yeah, wow. This is just things are changing here.
Oh, I hope so. I hope you're right. Do you think that having a lot of ex-Muslim atheists from Islamic countries in Germany might help Germans get some, you know, the courage to be able to talk about? Because I think like this is a bit racist, but I think a lot of white people think like they need some brown people to be able to say these things like for them. I mean, it's not a bit racist. It is racist because people.
It's not racist. It's not racist because it's true. It's not racist because if I would say something against Islam, I'm a right-wing racist. Okay. If Rana says that, it's a different story. And if I say that I work with refugees from these countries and this is what I observe, these problems occur. then I can talk. But if I just say as a white person here in Germany and I say Islam is a shitty religion, I'm all the way. I mean, even Mina Hadi, who's a member of the Communist Party, she was called a right-wing racist, when she criticized Islam. It's absurd. So of course you need.
So the most extreme leftist position you could find is also a right-wing now.
Yeah, everybody who says something against Islam.
But how is that not racist for somebody to say the same? So if a brown person says something, it's accepted. Is less condemned than somebody with a white skin saying it. That's basically racism. Basically, if you're white, basically the same views are not as welcomed as if you're brown. Isn't that racism?
Yeah, but you just have a few minutes of getting your point across. And normally the people who are criticizing Islam are coming from the right. And they're white. So if I'm white and saying something against Islam, it's a complex thing. And they think, okay, he's saying something against Islam, so he's also like the AFD.
I understand that, but that's race. But that generalization is the very definition, based on skin color, is the very definition of racism. And the reason why most people that criticize Islam are from the right is because the left people allowed that. Because they didn't criticize Islam. They made it a right-wing issue. So the solution is for people not to check their skin color, but like, hey, do I have the right skin tone to be able to criticize Islam? I mean, that is racism to do that, right? So I don't know. So
we sometimes, when we sit together, we're from Bangladesh, from Saudi Arabia, from Iran, from Germany, and we say we're a crazy Nazi party here. It's really, it's absurd.
Right.
I mean,
So let me see there were some really good questions in the live chat. I have to scroll all the way up. BJ is asking, how long is the process in general to get immigration status in Germany?
Immigration, I'm not really sure about real immigration, how this works. But I think if you for example, if you're 5 years in Germany, I think Rana, you know it better.
Yeah, 8 years, I think now. It was 5 years, but now 8 years. But you have to work, you have to pay your tax, and you have to not have any problem with police, and
It's very strict, right? Like a lot of people seem to think like it's open borders and it's very straightforward. You just come and stay, and all of a sudden now you take. No, it's not like that, right? It's very strict. Okay.
It was like that for a short period of time. It's not like that at all anymore.
It was like that for a short period of time, but too many people took advantage of that short period of time. Isn't that correct? Like this is why everything is changing in Germany. I mean, Merkel is paying the price for that. Like the short amount of time that was the case, it flooded Germany with too many people. No.
Yeah, but I mean, the most right-wing voters are in the East. And the East Germany, it was the old socialist Germany, and they don't have many people from foreign countries. I mean, I live in Cologne. It's all the way in the West, and it's a very diverse population, And there are people from all over the world living here. So people are not that, it's not a big change for us if refugees are coming. I didn't really notice any change. But I think in the East, it was more, they have more problems with that.
So, but a lot of people are saying like Germany is fucked because of what they did. Like they're saying the demographics are going to change now. People are getting raped all the time now because of the refugees. And
yeah, true. It's all true. No, of course not. It's stupid. I mean, there has been this one incident in Cologne, where on New Year's Eve there were a lot of women. There were a lot of Arab people, I think, from Northern Africa. And they harassed a lot of women there, and I think some got raped, and it was really horrible. It was 2 years ago, I think, 3 years. And that was an incident that really changed a lot here in Germany. But that was one incident. And there was also, like, when all the refugees came, there was a little boy from a refugee family. He was taken by a German pedophile. He raped him and killed him. This also happened. So this is just, if there came over 1 million people came, and of course there are criminals among them and there are rapists among them, of course. Like also when you take 1 million Germans, there are rapists and criminals among them. But anytime something happens, all the right wing goes on the streets and, has it's nothing really changed, to be quite honest.
So it seems to be really hard to find reliable statistics on it, because what you see, I think both sides, when they're showing the numbers, they're making a mistake. I don't know on purpose or not, but for example, when the right-wing people, so okay, let's say the left-wing people, when they show this, when they say show the statistics, they like, look, what more white people commit more crimes in Germany than brown people. And that's very misleading, because they don't adjust it per capita. Of course, white people commit more crimes because there's a shit ton of more white people, right? More white people are tying their shoes in Germany as well. More white people are painting their walls as well, because there's just generally more white people. Like, that's obvious. Like, that is not a very so that's a misleading from the people that are trying to show that like immigration is not a problem. But also the people that are trying to show immigration is a problem, they also misrepresent the numbers, because they show like how much crimes immigrants are committing. But they're also like, oh my god, look at how many crimes immigrants are committing. But they're also not adjusting their numbers, like, okay, but on a per capita basis compared to non-immigrants, is this more or is this less? Like, nobody, like, I haven't seen an adjustment for these factors by either side, so I don't really know what to believe, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
But also a lot of people judge based on their own personal experience. Like, a lot of people say, like, live in an area and they say, like, I haven't noticed anything different. Or some people say, like, now I'm living in hell right now because of immigration. So I see both sides, and I don't know, like, personal experiences are usually not a very reliable way to judge how things are changing. So I don't really know where to get the, and I see a lot of people saying that the government itself and the media is not is suppressing the information. So I don't know what to trust. I don't know where to get my information. It's really hard to judge what's going on right now. What do you think?
I think with the German population, I think worldwide, it's a very strange sense of panic somehow. I mean, like in the US when Trump was voted, and we have this all over the place. I mean, there haven't been many refugees in France, but Le Pen with the Front National, they almost got the major votes. And so, it's all over the place, these right-wing moods, and they need some group to like blame them for the problems, I think. And I think in our case, it's the refugees, because we took in a lot of refugees. And I don't know, when I talk with people who are very right wing, I feel that they are somehow having a sense of like urgency, like something terrible is going to happen. We'll be all living under Sharia law in 5 years or something. Like, it's the same thing maybe with ISIS that say, Islam is under attack, we have to defend the caliphate or something. They're all under this strange, stressful.
So you think, both of you think all those fears are unfounded?
I mean, we can solve them, I think. We can solve things. I mean, it's not like it's not that something, even if there is a higher criminal right with refugees. I mean, first of all the people, even like the people we take care of, like when they come here, most of the atheists are intelligent, they're well educated, they speak English, they want to integrate all of that. But even then, it's very hard. And I can understand that sometimes the people get aggressive, or they do stupid stuff, or they, I don't know what, because it's a very, very difficult situation. When you look in the camps, it's not easy to live in these camps. I mean, Rana has been in a camp lately, and and she was, I think you were shocked.
How is it like? How is it like? Can you tell us?
It's terrible. It's so many people in the small place, and we eat together, and we share the toilet, and we share the douche, and we share everything in this place. And you know, you get really trouble when they know you are not a Muslim, you are not fasting, you are not doing any Muslim stuff. And for me it was also bad, because I don't care from the beginning. You know, I was wearing something really normal, like other German girl wear it in the camp, and I get some problem inside in this camp. For the women, I think it's more dangerous, because some of them, they get like sexual harassment or something like this. Yeah.
Do you guys think that it's fair or unfair or legal or illegal to allow more atheist refugees compared to Muslim refugees?
I think it's not fair to say something like this, because we have also kind Muslim people, and I met Muslim nice people. They know I am atheist, and they respect me like how I am, and they don't have any problem.
No.
Yeah.
But not based on not based on who's kind or not, based on who's more in need. Like, for example, let's put atheists aside. Let's look at, for example, Yazidi, right? If a Yazidi person is trying to run out of Syria under ISIS, we might think they deserve more priority over Muslim people, like, or a Yazidi woman.
Sure, yeah.
So, or a Christian person under ISIS deserves more priority over a Muslim person, right?
Yeah.
So, if we do think they deserve more priority, given that they are more in danger, why wouldn't we give priority to atheist refugees over Muslim refugees? Do you think that would be fair?
I don't know. It depends, I guess. I mean, if somebody's really, his life is in danger because he's in a war zone, then I don't care what he believes in. We have to take care of this person so he's safe. But of course, if somebody, I mean, there's, like you said in the beginning, there's no person more in danger than an atheist in a Muslim country, especially like a country like Saudi Arabia or Pakistan or Afghanistan or something like that.
Iran, yeah.
It's or Iran, of course. Yeah.
Bangladesh. Oh my, yeah. Pakistani atheist is asking. I have heard many Iranian and Shia Hazara Afghans convert to Christianity upon entering Germany. Many Germans say they convert for asylum process. Is this correct?
It's easy to get asylum if you are convert to Christian. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's not fair. What, like, more than being an atheist?
You can't convert to being an atheist.
No. No. Let me clarify. Is being a Christian make it your refugee, make your asylum case more easier than being an atheist?
It depends on where you come from. I think when you're a woman from Saudi Arabia, you're pretty sure to get asylum, because
from Iran or from Pakistan or
yeah, but Iran is, if you're a male, it's more difficult. We had a Saudi from Saudi male, and he got rejected, and a lawyer thought that he get accepted, but unfortunately it took so long, and he got so much trouble in his camp, and he lived together with some Muslims who burned him and said, look, this is how it feels to be in hell, all this stuff. Not burned him whole, like burned him on here, and he was really with a lighter. He burned.
Wait, in the camp in Germany, some Muslims...
In the camp in Germany, yeah.
They burned his hand?
Watch all the time. They cannot watch all the time. And he was somewhere on the countryside in eastern Germany. There was not much going on there, so he couldn't escape. And that was too much, and in the end, he converted back to Islam and went back. And that was really sad, because 1 or 2 weeks later, he got his acceptance. And that was really sad. But... after he went back to Saudi Arabia, he got his acceptance. Yeah, he converted back. He said the sentence 3 times. I don't know what it's called. What's it called? I don't know.
A shahada.
You know, like, yeah, I believe it's a shahada. Yeah, he said that, and
you don't have to say it 3 times. That's the divorce that you need to say it 3 times. The shahada, you only need to say it once. But
I don't know. I never converted to Islam, so I'm not aware of it. But and I'm not planning to in the near future. But I think it's
But wait. So what happened to him when he went back to Saudi Arabia?
I don't know. He blocked all of us.
I don't think they back him to Saudi Arabia, because Germany, when they back someone, they have to be sure he not really get killed. And in this situation, he was really dangerous to back Saudi Arabia. I think they back him to the other country near to Saudi Arabia, like Qatar or Kuwait or Emirates. I don't know.
Wow. Really. Okay.
Yeah. So, and also Iranian guys, they have it hard. I mean, they all get rejected. They all get rejected, all the atheists. And and we always write expertises and stuff. And it's really
the atheists get rejected. What the hell? Why? I mean, it's pretty. I mean, isn't it well known that it's a death sentence to send them back? I mean, I guess you send them back somewhere else.
I didn't read why they got rejected, because the Iranian cases, the ex-Muslims, because it's Mina Ahadi and all of them, they're Iranian, so they handle these cases more. So I don't know so much about that. But there was this one guy, he was in a mosque in Iran, who made the finger and had an atheist T-shirt. Maybe you know about this photo. And he was here, and he asked for asylum. He got rejected. And I thought, what more can you do than standing in front of a mosque in Iran with an atheist T-shirt doing this? What more you cannot
so for people that are going to listen to this on the podcast, when you say this, you're showing the one finger salute. Okay, so he did. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. So where did he send them back to Iran?
I don't know if he still if he got sent back. I don't know if the lawyer's still dealing with the case. I don't know. Mina knows that. Okay. Mina Hadi. Because she's doing all the, but it's and also another guy who I mean, I don't know about any atheist, I think, from Iran that got accepted right away. They always have to go to trial. But on the other hand, we had an Afghan guy who came out as an atheist just 2 months ago, and for him it was really hard, and to meet us it was really hard for him, and he had a court case. And Dittmar was there, and he got accepted there as an atheist. So I don't know.
A friend of mine, Omar, he was almost going to be sent back. I think he was from, where was he from? Fuck, I forgot, a European country. But I think he was from Sweden. But they were almost sending him back to Egypt, and he burned the Quran. And he put it on YouTube. And he sent it, and he was like, "Okay, look, I burned a Quran. This is proof that because they say like we don't know if you're actually an ex-Muslim or if you're just saying this for asylum." And like, okay, no, I'm an ex-Muslim. A Muslim would not burn a Quran.
But we don't need to do that. I feel this too much. How we can prove we are atheists. I found this trick what we are doing in the organization, that we give paper for the person that we know him and he is atheist, and the situation for atheists in the country, it's really dangerous for him. We give this people our paper from us, and also ex-Muslim Britain, they give the same paper if someone need it. And I think like organization and international, you write something about this for the person, it give the case more power or more
So you're saying people shouldn't go burn the Quran?
I don't care about this book, but I feel it's really dangerous for the person if you do.
Okay, but he was very desperate. He was like, if I get sent back, I'm fucked anyway, so I might as well just burn the Quran. And it worked actually. But that's great. So people, if the people that you're helping, you give them paperwork to officially say to the government, look, I'm officially an atheist. I didn't know, you're a certified atheist. No, but going back to my original question, like if let's say somebody from Saudi Arabia in Germany, one of them, two men. From Saudi Arabia. One of them converts from Islam to Christianity. One of them abandons religion as an atheist. Do we know which one has a better case for asylum?
I don't know. I guess. I guess the Christian guy maybe, and he gets better treatment.
Why?
Because the Christian organizations, they have millions, and we just have a few euros on our bank account.
Okay, this is guys. See, this is why you need to go support. By the way, the link is in the description for donation. This is not fair. We as atheists we need more help, and we're getting less help. And when we have an organization like yours, the Atheist Refugees, that are actually doing the job that we all say needs to happen, you guys need to go support them. The link is in the description. Go support them. This is a cause that we need to get behind. Okay, there's a link to the GoFundMe page to this organization. Go check it out. I mean, we keep saying atheists are as good as everyone else. Well, why? Look at Christians; they're taking care of each other so much, and we're not doing that. We're not. So if atheists are out there and claiming that, if we're all out there and claiming like, hey, we are as good as Christians, as good as Muslims, or being an atheist doesn't mean you're not that you're not moral. Well, show it. Put your money where your mouth is. Go support their organization. Don't just say it. Do something about it. Let me see what else is there. Let me link in the description. Okay, I have the same problem like this woman have. I can tell anyone that I'm an atheist and keep it to myself. I always pretend that I am a Muslim, but I'm not. I hate it. I hate being like this. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. This is MN20. I don't know where you are.
If she in Germany, contact us, please.
Okay, if you're in Germany, please contact them. Let me see what else is here. Oh my god, there's so many. Armin, I think it's the rhetoric of Oppression Olympic is just a right-wing rhetoric to dismiss actual issues of oppression because they think it involves government intervention. No, I do think some people do play Oppression Olympics. Even I think there are some fair claims of victimhood and there are unfair claims of victimhood, and so there are some also and sometimes there are fair claims of victimhood, but you don't have to say that you're the worst, right? So for example, if you're a Christian and you think a Christian in the United States and you think your Christians in the United States are being oppressed, then you're an idiot, and you're playing Oppression Olympics. But if you think that Christians in Egypt and Pakistan are being oppressed, then that's not playing the Oppression Olympics. That's reality. Okay. If you're an atheist in Canada or United States, you are correct to say that you're unfairly treated, but please don't say that you are as bad as atheists in Saudi Arabia, or it's going to get there. Okay, you don't have to be the greatest victim for you to actually be a victim. So you don't have, you could say that you're being unfairly treated without actually trying to compete with other people that are being treated worse than you are because of your atheism. So I think it's fair to claim some people are playing Oppression Olympics, and sometimes there are cases where people are genuinely in a really shitty situation because of who they are or what they believe in or what they don't believe in. And to support, the only evidence put forward are the rare cases of... Okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to focus on your organization. One thing I want to suggest is... What I notice is, what a lot of people point out, is that giving statistics to people usually doesn't make the emotional connection, right? But showing people stories is by itself is very emotionally powerful, but by itself it might be misleading. So the solution that is always recommended by a lot of people wiser than me, is to have the statistics and the stories hand in hand, right? So the statistics to show that these stories reflect a larger reality, but because the statistics don't make the emotional connection, match the statistics with some testimony, some stories from people, so that people could match numbers with some real faces and real people and real stories, right? So when I talked to Gary in the first the part one of this discussion on how to protect atheists, I was suggesting that what we can do. So I don't. You guys should look into this organization. It's a very good. It's an organization that doesn't have a good name, and I think that's one reason why people don't know about it. But they're rebranding again. It's the International Humanist and Ethical Union. It's one of the few well-connected organizations out there that is actively supporting atheists. In fact, they brought up the case of atheists and Atheist Republic members in Malaysia at the United Nations Human Rights Council. They addressed it to all the nations. That was huge. So these are people. This is a very well-established organization that knows the laws, that understands human rights issues, and they're very well connected, right? And it's one of the only human rights organizations out there, official human rights organization out there, that really focuses on atheists and secularists and humanists, right? So, So that's what they're doing. And you guys are focusing on refugees, and Atheist Republic is mostly a content provider. So we take the voices of our community and we create content out of that, and we have a huge reach, right? We're the largest atheist community in the world. We have more than 2 million followers worldwide. And I was thinking if there's something we could do. And the solution I have is to take videos of people that have escaped, telling their stories. Like people like, you know how Rana did this herself, but not everybody could be Rana because Rana is fucking amazing. But people that might need a little bit of a help to tell their stories, we could get, and people that don't have a platform, people that won't be able to get a large audience, we could just get them to send us their videos, and we could publish it on Atheist Republic, and then get this organization to, because I asked them what can we do for you to be able to make our case, the atheist case, to governments and large organizations around the world. And they said the most important thing we need is people's stories, people's videos and messages. And I was thinking that maybe the three of us could somehow work together, and basically the people that you're helping, you could get videos from them and send me your videos, and we could put like your company's URL and branding on it so people could go support you when they see these videos. And then we post these videos on Atheist Republic, and then once we have enough of them, I go to Gary and be like, hey Gary, you asked for video testimonies, here's like 100 of them. Please go show this to the UN or to Amnesty International or to this organization or to that organization, and make our case that we need help, right? So maybe it would basically be a funnel, videos from you, publishing it from us, and them using it to make our case around the world. What do you guys think about a plan like that?
I mean, we also tried this here. We had an event in Berlin about a month ago, and there were it's always when you have something like ISIS, people always say, oh, it has nothing to do with Islam and blah, 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 blah. And this culture, or like women are treated in Saudi Arabia, they say it's a cultural thing. So we wanted to take 4 people from very different countries and talk about their situation and show that these very different countries have the same problems, and the only thing they have in common is Islam. And we had somebody from Mauritania, somebody from Saudi Arabia, somebody from Pakistan, and somebody from Bangladesh. And also we had Hamid Abdel Samad there, and Amina Ahadi. And these were people that spoke out publicly. But it's very hard to find people to do this, because most of the people we help here in Germany, they don't want to go public because they're afraid of revenge. Or
maybe Stefan, if we cover the face, maybe only the voice, we can hear what they tell us. Maybe it's work.
Or back to the camera.
Yeah.
Back to the
something
camera.
like this, maybe.
Yeah, or we could also, we could also change their voice, and but by having your brand on it, we will basically, get your, we'll use your credibility to verify that this was not made up, right? This is not like a person that is acting. You guys know this. You guys have met this person. So even though we're not showing their faces and we're changing their voices, you're putting your organization's name on the line by saying like, no, this guy is an atheist in danger, and that's how we can maybe get their stories out. and protect their identity at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is also our problem. If we want to raise money, for example, you should tell what you're doing, what you accomplished, which people you help, what their stories are. And we cannot do this because we don't want to endanger these people. And so if we talk about a lot of personal things, we also had from people that, you know, the families back home got threatened or something like this. So we don't want this to happen. If they don't want to do this, we don't push anybody into doing something that they don't want to. And most of the people don't want to speak out in public. So that's, or have their story told, you know, through our media. So we have, this is why you don't find a lot of case stories on our webpage or something, because
so
and
protection comes first.
In the GoFundMe, you will find 2 photos with me, with other person. The man from Mauritania, he is the first atheist coming in public and talk about atheists. His name Yahya, and I put the photo in the GoFundMe. The other photo, you will see it, is with the one Saudi girl. I already cover her face because it's dangerous for her life to show her face, but she allowed me to use her photo, and she said to me, everyone have to help us, and it was kind from her.
So can we ask them if it's possible for us to give a testimony with their back to the camera and with using some voice altering?
I think it's no problem with this.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Let me. I think I missed a lot of live chat comments. Jaren is saying, I think right wing likes to hyperbolize the left way too much. Theomaki saying, I agree with Stefan. There's something of an echo chamber of critics of the left who claim leftists are all pro-Islam. But exiting the echo chamber, you find leftists critical of Islam. Exhibit A, me. That's true, Theomaki, but even the leftists that are critical of Islam, they do get a lot of backlash from other leftists. Like the amount of shit that they have to deal with is a lot when they are critical of Islam. Jaren is saying, you're going too far in the right-wing Kool-Aid atheist republic. No, Jaren, whenever people say something, I provide an alternative narrative. If you have right-wing people talking to me, I provide the left-wing narrative. If you have left-wing people on live with me, I provide right-wing narrative. Even if you have an atheist, anti-Muslim, I defend even Islam just to provide the alternative narrative. When somebody is shitting on Islam, I will tell you, like, okay, well, this is what a Muslim would how a Muslim would defend the position. This is what I always do. You know me, guys. Johnny is saying, the right wing often doesn't give a crap about human rights. Kick means just like espousing racist bullcrap and don't give a clear. I don't think it's fair. What do you guys think? I don't think it's fair to generalize the left or the right. I think the right wing has its own problems with xenophobia, some extreme far-right people, but that doesn't mean all right-wing people are like that. And the left wing has a problem with the regressive left, and some people on the left make excuses for Islam, but that's not a representation of all the people on the left. Do you think that we're too quick to generalize both the right and the left with their worst people in their with their craziest views in their community? You think we need to be less generalizing?
I mean, I think it's I think you have to look at the media, how the media reacts to certain topics. This is the generalization you can speak of. I mean, until now, when you said something against Islam, it was in the media, it was covered like a racist act or an Islamophobic act. And this is starting to change. I don't know if people are, I mean, I also observed that a lot of my friends who are also left, they have a very critical mind about Islam. So, but I think it's the media we're talking about. If the coverage in the media starts to shift to a certain direction.
MM20 is thanking us for supporting him or her. Well, thank you so much for saying that. Theo Mike is saying, what would an atheist do to Europe? Strap a bomb and shout it in the name of nothing? Okay.
Of course. That's what we do.
Okay. Theomaki is saying I need to flip off the Vatican someday to be a certified apostate. Well, you know, I went to Vatican and I had the Atheist Republic shirt on there and took a picture, but I never felt at all in danger or at risk. In fact, some priest came and took a picture with me. But compare that to what Rana did. Rana had the Atheist Republic, and for people that don't know, Rana had wrote Atheist Republic right next to Kaaba in Mecca, and she took a picture and she sent it to us, which went viral. Go watch the documentary on Vox, was it right? You were on Vox, right? Like, go watch her. Go search for Rana Ahmed Vox. You'll see their story. That was really scary. I don't know. You're way braver than I would ever be, Rana. Okay, so got this. Sorry guys if I'm missing any questions. Oh, somebody mentioned Rana. I missed it. Scrolling down. Okay, somebody is saying Rana is getting more famous all the time. I love that Armin is giving them recognition. I don't need to give them recognition. Rana should give me recognition because she's awesome. When is the next book of Rana coming out, and how is her physics study going along? Okay, so when is your book? Tell us about your books and how's your life? How's your studies? Ever since you ran away.
My book now, it's available in French language. It was published in Dutch language, in German language in the beginning of this year, and in French language in October. But until now, we don't have the English language. My physics study, I already finished this preparing years for university, and I am doing like now social voluntary work in the hospital until my university start in the next semester.
Okay, and Theomaki is saying, what is the name of your book? What's the name of your book?
Women Not Allowed to Dream Here.
Women Not Allowed to Dream Here. Okay, wow. And Theomaki is also asking, for people that joined late, they're asking for the name of your organization. So maybe mention that one more time. What's the name of your organization?
The Atheist Refugee Relief.
Right, and I saw your website. It has it in multiple languages. I think it was very helpful that it had it in English, German, Arabic, Persian, Urdu. So
yeah, it's not really Arabic and Persian because we don't really have everything translated. It's meant to be having these languages, but still we didn't translate everything, so it's basically English.
We are helping.
I don't find the time at the moment. Yeah, it's just at the you know, we always push it on the back of the line, but we have it in English and in German. And in German the name is different. It's Säkulare Flüchtlingshilfe. It's a different name. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I made a mistake. Theomaki is correcting me. Sorry, Rana was on Vice, not on Vox.
Voice News.
Yeah, Vice News. So where was this? There was a good question here. I totally forgot. I missed it. Sorry, guys, if I miss any of your questions. So here's my question: are you accepting volunteers at all? If somebody wants to help you with translations and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could go. But what's the website? By the way, your website really does need some helping because on Google, I think your website was like down for a while, and now Google the name that when you search for your website, the #1 page that comes up is error or something. Yeah. So guys, if you guys understand web design or web SEO stuff, please go help them. They really do need some help. they need help with their website. If this is a good, if you can't donate, if you can't financially help, maybe volunteer when it comes to helping their website and stuff like that. Eston is saying, I buy a shirt from Atheist Republic, but it's blocked in Malaysia. Well, use a VPN. Okay, and you sent an email, but nothing has. It's been a month. Okay, we lost. But the reason is that we're getting back on our emails. We get hundreds of emails every week, and our Atheist Republic CEO was in a car accident, and she got hospitalized, and now she's missing. We don't know where she is now and if she's okay. We had a change in CEO, and that's why we're very behind on everything we're dealing with. We're getting back on track. Sorry about anybody we haven't responded to. We're short on staff. We can't afford to hire more right now. We're trying to. Again, sorry if we haven't responded to anybody. We're trying our best. Theo Mackey, thank you. Theo Mackey shared the link to your website. It's atheist-refugees.com. Thank you, Theo, for putting that out there. Shout out to their organization and Ditmar as well. I don't know what that is. Okay,
that's the third one.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's us three that started it. Rana,
Yeah.
Ditmar, and me.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ditmar. So, how many are you in total?
What's that?
How many of you are in total? How many people are involved? The three of you?
We're the core of, but there are three people in the Vorstand that are, we're I don't know what's it called in English. It's Verein. It's like when you want to do something in a private manner, you make an Verein, and there are three people there on the top on the Vorstand. It's called. It's me, it's Mina, and another guy who's Johan, who's doing the finances. And then we have members of this, and in the members, we have members in our organization. They're about, I don't know, 50 or something, but we also have members in the Berlin organization, and there are other organizations starting now, and we also have people helping us who are not part of our organization from the GBS, like I said, the Giordano Bruno Stiftung, and from the HVD, it's the Humanistic Verband Germany, and a lot of people helping us with to help house people or provide us with apartments or yeah.
How many people have you been helping so far?
At the moment, we have about 35 people.
Oh wow!
That we take care of at the moment. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And yeah,
and we
are really active.
With the amount of resources and number of people you have, in just that's huge. This is something that is very difficult. I mean, I didn't know how difficult it is until I got involved with Rana's case, and I realized that okay, we need an organization to fully focus on this, because this is very complicated stuff that we need people to so this is again why on Atheist Republic we decided to just focus on what we know how to do best, which is providing content and providing a voice to atheists, and instead of reinventing the wheel, find the people that are doing this whole immigration and supporting the refugee process. They figured it out and doing it the best, and just support them instead of just doing everything from scratch. And I think you guys are mastering that. I mean, imagine with the number of people that you have and the limited resources you have, if you have managed to do so much, I can't imagine how much you will be able to do once you grow even bigger. So again, thank you so much for what you're doing. This is something that is really needed, and you're doing the Lord's work.
I want to say thank you in the beginning for you, Armin. Do you remember when you opened the GoFundMe for me in the beginning when I was in Turkey? And there is a lot of atheists help me and support me in this moment. From here, I want to say thank you for everyone, and thank you for you. And before 6 or 7 months, I opened GoFundMe for 3 Saudi girls. They was in Turkey, and they need help. I do the process like what you did with me. I did it with other. I help other in the same way, and I raise money for this girl, and they are now free in Europe country. They are safe.
Wow.
This feeling. What you did and what you make other people do.
That's so okay. See, to all the people that this was years ago when people donated to help Rana, and now Rana is safe, and now she's helping a lot more people, right? So to all the people that donated, that they think that these things might, a lot of people are like, oh, this is not going to help. Rana is now safe, and it's not just her. Because she's safe, she thinks that she needs to help other people. And the people that helped get Rana out, they didn't only help Rana because of through their help, now Rana is helping a lot of other people. And
yeah, they save other people.
Yeah, and now if Rana helps a lot of people, there might be some people that Rana's helping that are going to become future Ranas, right? So everything that you do to help will, is going to have a, the snowball effect. These are people that might eventually become activists and help other people in need. So this is, Rana has shown that this is something that is worth supporting. Like we don't, like when I started the GoFundMe for Rana, I didn't have anything to show. I was just like, trust me, we did our due diligence. This is a real story. This is going to help. And people donated, even though I couldn't really show them. They just had to trust me. And I brought ex-Muslims of North America to interview you, and I brought Imtiaz Shams to interview you to say, like, look, these other credible people are saying that this is a real case. Just use these companies' credibility to trust us. But now that we have demonstrated, now that Rana has demonstrated that this works, it should be an easier sell because we have the history to show that, and again, Rana is not somebody from outside. She went through this process. She knows what these people are dealing with. So she's one of the best people to support to do this. And Rana, thank you so much, by the way, for everything you do. You didn't. It wasn't enough for you to get out. This is why I love you. Okay, you got out. you got saved, but you were like, this is not enough. There are other people. There are other people
I want
like
all
me.
the atheists not to be afraid anymore. I can't forget my time when I am atheist in Saudi Arabia and how my life was there. I feel like I'm responsible to help other atheists, other girl, other person to really be free or to feel free or to change them life or do something.
Oh, you're an angel. If you want to believe in angels, these are the real versions of it.
And I want to say thank you for Stefan. Thank you for Dietmar. They are working a lot in our organization, and no one can see that or notice that. Stefan, they have family, and Dietmar, they have work. And all the people, Stefan or Dietmar, they give also time without paying. We are all working free voluntary work in this organization.
Okay. I'm going to just read some final messages from people. Mostly a lot of messages of support. Would their organization help atheist refugees from hostile regions or just Islamic nations? You guys should mention that you're willing to help anybody that is in danger, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, we got a super chat from Blaze, somebody that I can't pronounce their name. Blaze Femi is to thank Armin. Do you think that Iran will someday be able to free itself from its Islamic regime? I honestly don't know, but because of your question, I'm going to have an entire episode on this. Thank you so much for your super chat. That's very generous. I'm going to dedicate an entire episode of that because of your question. Theo Maki is saying, I watched the Vice documentary. I was kind of nervous that it would end with some end that says, still in Turkey. I'm glad she made it. We're capable of saving lives. Rana, Sopan is saying, Rana, you're an inspiration to many. You really are. You're crying. You're very sweet. But I'm going to end it here. I just want to focus on telling people the link is in. If you guys think this is a worthy cause, please check the link in the description. I link to the GoFundMe page. Go support them. If you can support them financially, share their link. Tell people about their organization. If you have some time, if you have some skills, either translation or web design, or whatever. What is it? Is it WordPress you guys are using? What are you using?
Yes,
WordPress.
it's WordPress.
If you know WordPress, maybe volunteer for the with their website, and also. Yeah, so check out the link. Do you guys want to add anything?
Yeah, I want to say thank you again for Richard Dawkins because he shared my GoFundMe in the beginning, and I met him in Berlin, and I was completely crazy when I see him. And yeah, and I want to say I love him a lot. Yeah, and I want to say for all atheists in all the country, be strong and be really don't lose your hope. One day you will change your life, and we are here to help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing. Again, check the link, and again, search for Atheist Refugee Relief, and I hope that we could work together on figuring out how we could promote what you're doing.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm going to stop the streaming right now. Don't go away. I'm going to stop the streaming. And thank you, everybody in the live chat. Sorry if I didn't read. I tried to read as much as I could. Jaren, Beach, thank you for modding. Beach is saying thank you, Armin, Rana, and Stefan. Missed people that have weird usernames that I can't read. Thank you, all of you. You all are great. And thank you for your great questions. It's really... Yeah, she got to meet Dawkins. Yeah. Oh, did you? I forgot to ask. Did you get to hug him because you wanted to hug him?
Yeah.
You did.
I was shocked completely when I see him in the first moment. You know, he was talking with me. Everything fine. I was.
What did he say? What did he say?
I don't say anything in the beginning. I was completely in shock. You know, he was like, here.
What did he say though?
He was really gentle, and he said, "Everything fine with you, Rena? Are you okay?"
That's very sweet. You know, Richard Dawkins, he never stops supporting ex-Muslims in need. So, I mean, he's very... He usually is very busy, but whenever he knows somebody that is actually in danger because of their atheism, or whenever ex-Muslims need support for anything, he drops everything and he goes and supports that. So really, he's very great when it comes to that. So okay, I'm gonna stop the streaming. Thank you, everybody in the live chat, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.